Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Seraph podcast. I'm your host Juan. As always, my co-host here with me. Hey, Trip.
Yo, bud.
How you doing, man?
What's up? I'm good.
I'm good too.
Very cool. Look at us good boys. Hey, we're talking about Seraph of the End this week. We're just talking about the first cour, her first season, her first half. It's very unclear how it works out. The first and second season aired right after each other.
Yeah.
But they were called different things. So we're just talking about 12 episodes.
First 12 episodes, yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. You don't need to watch it. It's fine. It's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
But I would never tell anyone to go out of their way to watch this.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to do what we did, which is just watch all of Wit's Studios stuff. Or if you're into the director, watch all of their stuff. Anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was just kind of out of left field. Hey, Wit does this. I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. 12 episodes, I'm down.
Why not?
Because since we started the pod, anything that Wit's made, we've absolutely seen. So this is before the pod. BP, if you will. So, that's it's fucking catch all. Because we watched anime, but not all the anime. There wasn't a reason for us to watch every single thing that came out every single season. So yeah, it was, don't watch it. Go watch something else.
Go watch a very resounding.
Yeah, just go watch Cabaneri the Iron Fortress.
Cabineri's fine.
Go watch Attack on Titan.
Titan. Watch that again.
Yeah.
After the Rain, also dope stuff.
Yeah, they has the same vibes as this show, right?
More or less.
Yeah. All right, man. How you been? Tell me about yourself.
I've been fine. I kind of want to get into a couple of things that happened at work right out of the way.
All right, let's do it.
Because there's been good shit. So I was on my lunch. I was vibing, just chilling with my cat. And I get a text from our maintenance guy. And it's of the outside of an apartment. There is a very large cable from an upstairs apartment window that's going down to one of our cable boxes. And I'm like, is this motherfucker seriously trying to steal cable and internet right now? I don't want to deal with this shit. What the hell? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to deal with that after my lunch. And dude, it straight up looks so janky and obvious. Their window screen is popped out. It's just straight along the side of a wall. And this guy works for PG&E. He works for an electric company. So I'm like, why would he be doing this? He knows not to do that. And also, why is his cable management so bad? It's just a big old dangly cable. What's happening? So I had to call and figure out what that was. I think he gave me some BS excuse about, our internet just goes out all the time. Has anyone else complained about that? I was expecting this call from you, and yeah, we've been dealing with it and talking to our cable company and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what kind of a cable company would ever tell you, oh yeah, just connect it outside of your window into the cable box that attaches to the building? What the fuck? Just so weird. I don't know why he would lie. He's getting a super fucking expensive apartment for this area. Why would you come here? There are a bunch of other ones available. I know for a fact. I don't understand people, man. Anyways.
So did you go cut his cable line?
No, I really wish I could. But I kind of don't want to start a whole thing. So he said he was going to have it cleaned up by Friday. I'm like, sweet, man. Enjoy your free cable for another week, I guess. Whatever.
He's like, I'll take care of it, but I'm kind of busy this week, and I really want to, download all this illegal stuff. So
it's just I don't want to have to deal with that. I wouldn't personally deal with that. I would be like, that looks shitty, and then move on. But of course,
But you're the manager, so it's I can't just move on.
Can't exactly do that. So that was really funny. And then earlier in the day, I was printing out some paperwork for somebody and scanning it in. And somebody being somebody at my company. Mm-hmm. I was scanning into the computer and I resolved all that. And then came back a little bit later. It was hey, I forgot about this. So Emily was taking care of that while I was on the phone with whoever. And she's like, hey, I'm having some trouble after you're done. Could you help me out? So I'm like, sure. I come over, figure out what's going on. And I'm teaching her how to do it. She's like, man, I'm sorry. I'm just so stupid. And then I go off of that. I'm like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. You should know how to do this stuff. And I'm just completely bombarding her with all kinds of insults as I'm doing each thing and teaching her how to do it. Because that's the kind of relationship we have at work. Mm-hmm. It's just making fun of each other all the time. And as I'm just really letting her know. I'm like, well, if you pay attention and you weren't so stupid, just look over here, idiot. I'm like very clearly yelling. And she like hits me and is like, hi, how can I help you?
Oh my God,
Somebody had walked in as I'm like screaming at her. And our painter, who I'm doing all this for, is like laughing his ass off the whole time too. So I hope that it came off as playful, but I also kind of hope that they think that I'm just constantly horrible person, despite like everything else that I do. Just like putting on a totally fake persona at work, where I'm not
even though you
genuine
do put
at all.
a fake persona at work.
But
persona.
I think it's more of an emphasized like, yeah, I just want to be pleasant, but I'm gonna go out of my way to be pleasant to you kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Versus, yeah, my homies, I'll just be like, hey man, be cool, be chill, we're chilling.
So you hope people think that persona is even faker than it really is?
Yes.
That's funny.
Absolutely. I hope that it's just like the most distinct opposite, because the person that came in was also this nice woman who moved in kind of recently. So the fact that she knows I'm nice and I'm yelling at Emily is like, is he nice? I don't know. I loved it, dude. And it just goes back to that time when Emily was pretending to throw up when a resident came in and had to be like, oh, thank you.
When she was pretending to puke and then someone walked in and she's like, oh, I'm fine. Yeah.
Because she'll always like describe stuff and be like, bleh, right? And I was like really egging her on too. I was just like, yeah, that's fucking disgusting. Bleh. And she just kept going and she's leaning over going, bleh. Somebody comes in. And she immediately just gets up and she's like, thank you so much. Do you want a receipt? Bye. It was so hard for me not to lose my mind laughing when that person was in there. I was like, I don't want to make it even worse on Emily. Yeah. We're wildly laughing. Unprofessional at work. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
And now I don't really know. Okay. Yesterday I get home. My patio is super clean. It's been raining leaves like crazy around here. And there's all kind of pollen and dust. I haven't wanted to clean my patio. Mm-hmm. I've been lazy about it. I don't really give a shit. I'm just going to wait until all the leaves stop falling. And then I'm going to clean off my patio. And I'm going to clean the stairwell and do all that. Because that's typically what I do after a large season of whatever kind of bullshit there is on the stairs. But instead, last night I get home and my patio is totally cleaned. And so are the stairs. And I'm like, what the hell? And the thing that really set me off, though, is that my chair, I have a chair next to my door so that they could put deliveries behind it and like on it so that people can't see it from the stairs. It was moved a little bit like purposefully. You could tell that it was moved at an angle where it looked nicer with the rest of the furniture. And I'm like, huh. Okay. I wonder who cleaned this. It seems weird that a neighbor would touch my shit. But in the past, I've cleaned off my neighbor's patios because I was already at it. I was like, hey, do you mind if I just get yours since I'm already doing this? Fuck it. So I started thinking, I'm like, would it be them? No, I don't think it would be. They don't seem like the people that would do that. So then I realized, okay, they've done all the stairs, whatever. I'm texting my downstairs neighbor and I'm like, bro, do you have your patio get cleaned off? Or is it just me or what's happening? And he's like, oh, yeah, they cleaned mine. I'm like, they also cleaned my glass on my table, which I realized after going outside, taking out the trash. I was like, wait a second. My glass is clean. Like, normally it has some, like, water on there because I water my plants. So just naturally, that'll happen. And it was totally cleaned. And I'm like, my glass is clean, too. What the fuck could have happened? Haven't figured it out. I don't know. My downstairs neighbor had his patio cleaned, but he didn't have his glass cleaned, which leads me to believe that it could have just been like one of our people doing grounds or something that decided to be extra nice, but didn't want to tell me about it. And instead it just freaked me the fuck out because I'm like, who would do this?
You're welcome.
I don't know, man.
You're welcome. I did it. I cleaned your patio. You're welcome.
It's a weird thing, but it's very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
thanks for being so strange, but in a loving way.
De nada. That is very weird. Especially the whole glass bit. Especially because, like, I mean, those chairs that are outside of your house are just for, looks. Because I don't think you've ever sat in them.
I have a couple of times.
Yeah, one time when you scared the fucking shit out of me.
Well, that's why I stopped sitting in them. People kept screaming at me.
Yeah, so it's interesting that someone went the extra mile to like clean those and rearrange those. I don't know, man. It's a mystery.
I don't know. It threw me off big time. Just some weird stuff. And the rest of the week has been chill. I haven't really been doing a whole lot. Playing some games here and there. Picked some Junk Monsters. Played some Left 4 Dead 2. Playing like older stuff. And a little bit of Phasmophobia. Classic things.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny bit more Bug Snacks. It's hard because I feel like I should just commit to it and play a lot. But I'm in the middle of Demon's Souls, man, and I just want to keep playing it, and it's been so much fun. And just before the podcast, I was like, all right, let's try out this new area in the fourth world. Let's just go for it. And then I made it through the entire zone without dying, and I killed the boss, and I felt fantastic. It just feels so rewarding consistently. I don't want to stop playing it, but I'm also kind of pacing myself to where I only play it like a couple hours at a time. Where all of the previous Souls games, I think I only had like 5-hour minimum sessions. Like I just sat there, played it for hours, wanted to keep that momentum going. But something about Demon's Souls is a little bit more forgiving, which is bizarre for me to say, I guess. While it also remains insanely challenging. But it's gorgeous, it's fun, it's a great time. And I've been getting into Among Us streams again, so I'm just watching way too much of that shit while I'm hanging out on my phone.
Who do you watch play?
I really like watching Rubber Ross play. In general, I try to watch most of his stuff, but I'll just flip here and there between different people, kind of within the Funhouse group and the people that, you know, were a part of Funhouse in the past. Mm-hmm. Along with different animators and different YouTubers. Just kind of pop in between, because everyone's got a different style.
Yeah.
But I've been watching Rubber Ross, Ross O'Donovan, Rubber Ninja, all those different names, play it because he's been doing proximity chat. Mm-hmm. So whenever you get close to people, you can talk, but you can't hear them if you're further away. And something about that has been wildly entertaining to me. So it's fun to just throw it on the background and do other shit. Hang out, vibe, chill.
I think, I don't know, that game was huge, like super big, you know, a month ago. So I saw it everywhere. So I see it less often now. But I just recently watched the Game Grumps play it, you know, mm-hmm. and I was like, that's cool. They're fine, right? They're not my favorite people to watch play it.
I really liked their proximity chat.
The proximity one was good, yeah. But what I want to say is that I am still fucking furious that they cannot get what's his face any form of equipment that works. I was like, why?
Dude, poor Danny. He's just struggling. He's got like a bad mic setup, a bad camera setup. It seems like a bad computer setup, but I don't really know.
I just don't get it. Like, how can you not help the boy out, especially if that's like your job? I've been watching. I really like the Game Grumps animated. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
And they've been doing bits where they'll like, you know, react to it because, you know, it's hard for them to create content.
Yeah, they'll rewatch things.
So they've been reacting to like biggest blowups, biggest, you know, rages, biggest whatever, and ones that I like are reacting to animates. And they just did one specifically about their Mario. You know, I don't know if they just did it, but I just watched it about them animated shorts that were about Mario stuff, and it was just horrible. Like, the quality of his video was so bad, and I was like, I don't understand. Obviously maybe my quality of my video is worse than yours, but it doesn't matter because we're not like huge fucking YouTube channel that like this isn't our fucking livelihood. If it was, we would pay a lot more attention.
Yeah, we would be working on it. Yeah, but that's another thing is I'm like, okay, so he has his band, he has Game Grumps, he should be making a bunch of money, right? Yeah. Like, he has the money for it.
If he doesn't have the money,
be like, yo, Aaron, what should I get? And then Aaron Hansen also has his new like card channel, Shuffle Master. Mm-hmm. So he's making a bunch off of that, and that seems like low effort, and just enjoyable for him to do, which is awesome. Like, that's the niche that you need to find. You need to get into that kind of stuff. But then they have all this money, all these resources. Like, you and I aren't made of money, but both of us were like, you know what? As our hobby, wouldn't it be better if we just got better microphones and like did that?
Had mics that weren't total shit. It's like, yeah. Not that our mics before was horrible, but they weren't like of any professional, quality. And we're like, cool, let's just get a really good mic and never have to worry about that. And guess what?
Yeah.
We haven't had to since. I mean, besides us fucking up recording and shit.
Or the Scarlet incident.
but mic wise, we paid what we had to, and then it's been plug and play essentially. I almost think that maybe it's just like a bit. He's just like, no, he just prefers having everything be total ass. Is like
that would be fucking funny. That would be really funny.
But I feel like that's not it.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah,
but
I feel like
that would be hilarious.
It's just like Aaron could be like, yeah, man, I built this PC for you. I have the camera set up. I'm going to send it over. And he just goes, no, I'm okay. I just like the way I look or whatever. It's just, it baffles me. And because of that, I'm slowly getting sick of watching any of their shit because I just can't wrap my brain around it.
I mean, I don't really watch Game Grumps, but I know that exact problem that you're talking about. It's so fucking funny to me. I love it.
All right, man.
Just get a better situation. But since I guess we're talking about YouTube shit, there are two things which I fucking love lately. So, Funhouse has been doing this series called Abandonware Games, where essentially they take abandonware from different years, which are these games where the projects were completely abandoned, the companies went out of business, something like that, and now they just exist for anybody to use. There are no rights for any of it. So they've been finding all these games from different years through the 2000s, and it just has me laughing nonstop thanks to the way that everyone interacts and the host, John Smith, who essentially he lets people play the games from his computer. So he remote plays with them, and they have to do hands up rules and stuff. All right, don't touch it. I'm trying to set it up. So hands up. And then he'll just suddenly close out the game and be like, oh man, looks like it crashed. Anyways, on to this next thing. And he gives you different trivia from those years that people keep guessing. And they keep guessing incorrect events on purpose, more recent things or things from very far in the past, or just other bizarre moments that they remember. Something about it is so special. I highly recommend people go out there and check it out. Plus, big shout outs to Ryan Haley, who is one of their editors, who does songs. He'll do covers of songs from that year. Some really specific 2007 songs, 2006 songs. And they're just such funny covers. I don't know. Hilarious. Love it. And then they also monthly have been doing a show called Google Trends for a long time now. Lawrence Sontag did it, and he did great. He was the one that founded everything for that show and worked hard on its presentation. And then it shifted to Alana, and Alana changed the show a little bit, did different things. But now that Alana Pierce is no longer working at Rooster Teeth, she's with Santa Monica Game Studio. Now it's passed on to John Smith, who, like I just said, fucking great host, comes up with great things. The whole theme of the episode was Christmas. They were doing a Christmas themed episode, and they had somebody who used to be a part of Funhouse, Joel Rubin, on there for a Christmas episode, despite being incredibly Jewish. So everything that he was Google Trends, you're just guessing key terms that apply to a search over the last year, and then whatever the current search trend is, that's how many points you get, right? So doing all these different things, and it's funny in its own right for each little bit that they do in between stuff, but he doesn't really give a shit about how the points are distributed or anything, which cracks me up. But they were doing a Family Feud style one where they had to pair words with Santa and see which one of those was the most popular out of 20 different words or word pairings. What are the most popular ones? And then they guessed all these different ones, like Santa's sleigh, Santa's whatever. And then they were like,
list.
Oh, maybe it's Santa Cruz. Oh yeah. And then all of them are Santa Maria coronavirus and all these coronavirus things having to deal with all the different cities that start with Santa. It was fucking hilarious. And he's like, did somebody say Santa hat? And then everyone was like, no. And one guy's like, I did. totally said Santa hat. And he's like, good, that appeared. Like, out of everything, that was the one actual Christmas Santa term. I fucking loved it, dude. Had me in stitches. I was laughing the whole time. Highly recommend the most recent Funhouse Google Trends. Yeah. 10 out of 10 shit.
That is pretty funny.
Anyways, I've just been vibing, chilling,
Cool,
playing games with people. I did decide on New Year's Day we are going to be doing a Minecraft hardcore. New Year's Day, nobody's doing anything. We're all just chilling, bringing the new year with a little bit of Minecraft. Because nobody in our group of friends really plays Minecraft a lot. So there was a big update a couple months ago or something like that people have been waiting for a long time. And now we'll be able to do it. They updated like caves and shit. I don't know. It's always fun to get together and do it every year or two. I'm stoked. You stoked?
Yeah, dude, I'm not doing anything on New Year's Day, I don't think.
Sweet. Well, now you're invited. So
Okay.
Perfect.
Maybe I'll come. I don't know. I don't have a computer,
You'll come.
so.
You'll have a great time. It'll be fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've really been up to much else. I mean, I've been watching anime and TV and stuff. It's been chill. His Dark Materials is back on. I talked about it a little bit ago.
It's a Golden Compass thing, right?
Golden Compass stuff. So now we're on to season 2, and they have been getting into some weird things where there are different worlds that are like all parallel universes that you can create portals in one world to another kind of thing. And man, we went in some weird directions, and essentially the entire show is about dark matter and angels, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. There's a time knife and a prophecy, and this whole season is fucking sick.
Nice.
You should definitely check it out now that you have HBO.
Do I have to watch the movie?
No.
Okay. I'm just curious. I don't know.
No. No, the whole first season is the entire movie.
Oh, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. With more witches. I don't remember witches in the movie. Do you?
I don't remember seeing the movie. I remember seeing the trailer to the movie a lot, so.
Polar Bear got his jaw slapped off. It was
Whoa!
dope.
Whoa! Spoilers!
For the movie. You're not watching the movie.
Oh, okay. For the movie. Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, it was sick as fuck, too. They were, like, on this ice bridge, and everything was, like, falling apart. And there were polar bears, and they were fighting to the death, and one of them slapped the other one's jaw off, and I was like, what the fuck? This is not a show for kids, or a movie, or whatever.
That's pretty good, man.
It was dope. And when I saw it, I was a teenager. I don't remember how old I was, but when I did see it, I remember thinking, this is some of the dopest shit that I wish I could have seen, like, a few years ago, so it could, like, be one of my favorite movies of all time to show people. Because, you know, as a kid, you want to be like, look at my favorite thing, and show it to them.
Yeah, real. It's a real Seraph of the end kind of thing, right? You know?
Yeah. Is it?
Fucking full circle. Nailed it. That's the pod. Catch you guys later.
All right, bye. But yeah, man, I've been doing a lot. It's been a really mellow week, and I'm always into that.
That sounds super chill, and I'm glad that no one's just like yelling at you for no reason at work. So that's good.
You never know. We had somebody yelling at us, but whatever. It wasn't like a big one. It was just because their washing machine won't work. They recently had ankle surgery. They need to do laundry. And then we were like, yeah, we understand. Well, our maintenance, he's busy all day, so he'll be able to get to it tomorrow. And then she kept calling us today and yelling at us about it. And we're like, he's doing stuff. He's busy. Other people have priorities too, man.
This other lady at 2B, she broke both her ankles. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you don't know. And then finally, when our maintenance got over there, he was like, yeah, this shit's fucked. And I'm like, oh, okay. So on it being a whole day project, they couldn't finish it today, so they're doing it tomorrow. Just because like they were trying to assess what the problem was, and it wound up being some clutch mechanism that doesn't like go out within such a short period that often. And then she, of course, is like, I do a load of laundry a day. And I'm like, how the fuck do you have a load of laundry? You're just like a couple of people in an apartment. What?
Is she doing like really small loads, or is it?
I don't know. I'm like, are you cleaning bed sheets every day? Are you cleaning your towels and clothes every day? Like, what are you doing?
Are you a nurse in the Civil War reenactment that you need to clean sheets all the time?
Like, what's happening? I don't understand, dude. So yeah, I guess that's the only yelling at me thing that's really worth it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. All right. Well, let's talk about.
Tell me about you.
Yeah. So this week, we had I had Jeopardy with my college friends. We started doing this, I think, in August, and then I missed one in October because I had to go see my cousin down in Southern California, and then the people that were in charge of doing the next one was supposed to be in November, but they were too busy, so that one rolled over to December. And what's super funny is that most of the themes for this one was like spooky stuff, so it was like very Halloween themed, even though we're now in December.
That's fun. I like that.
So the first one was just like serial killers, something about monsters. One was about actual cereal. Another category was about scary video games. So it was just like a bunch of like, guys, come on. Like they were like really in a Halloween mood, which is fine. It was fun. I lost really bad, but the bummer, the reason, because we play in teams, and the reason I lost, it's not like my teammates' fault or anything. I knew a lot of the answers, but I just didn't buzz in on time. I'm playing against Brian, who for sure knows all the answers, and he was with Kyle. So if Brian didn't know, Kyle knew. Like they just know a bunch of random bullshit that we would make as Jeopardy questions. But Brian's been playing WoW since like the day he was born. So
that's a big deal.
Really good at just like mashing the button. So it's amazing how quickly, like, I tried so hard, and there was like maybe one time I beat him, but for the most part, unless no one knew the answer and I buzzed in, I was either second or third.
Couldn't buzz it.
I couldn't buzz in fast enough. No, it was like him, and then it was me, and then someone else, or it was just like him and then someone else and then me. So I was second or third, and I was like, I just can't. I was like, even I know the answer, I fucking can't buzz it in. So it was frustrating. But Kyle and Brian are now in charge of doing next month's Jeopardy. So that's like cool. Maybe next month I'll have a shot to win. I do want to win. I really like. It's a really fun time, but I'd like to win one, and I haven't won one in the past. So it was good, but obliterated, absolutely fucking demolished. Man. It's all right. I know for sure I absolutely got demolished in fantasy. Like got fucking bent over like a bench and just fucking railed. It was horrible. But it's fine because I was like, who cares? It's not a real game. But because of COVID stuff, they sometimes have to like reschedule games. Last week they rescheduled because the football week is usually Thursday night football and it ends with Monday night football, and then most games happen Sunday, right? That's just kind of how it works. This year, there's been times where like players get sick and stuff, so they have to push games back, or whatever. The latest last week, there was a Wednesday night game, which is insane. So there's a Monday night game, there's a Monday night game, a Tuesday night game, and a Wednesday night game, I think, and then Thursday night. That started the next week. I was like, which was wild. So this week, we record on Tuesdays. There is a Tuesday night game, so I didn't happen to be playing this on that Tuesday night game, so I already knew yesterday, Monday, that I had lost. But I don't know my ranking as to where I am on the, after the lost. So I'm right now ranked at 5th, I think.
That's not bad.
Yeah, well, you only need to make top 6 to make the playoffs. So I was like, cool. I think I could be bumped down to 6th, depending, because I did lose this week. But I'm not too sure. Either way, I don't get a first round bye, which is what everybody really wants. But I don't know. It's just a blessing to make the playoffs. That's what losers. That's what
Hell
losers.
Yeah, dude.
That's what losers say to themselves. The Chargers also got absolutely fucked this week. They lost 45-0 in a horrible defeat to the fuck did they play? The New England Patriots.
You holding up okay? He doing good?
Nah, man, it's been a rough one. Nah, it really sucked ass. It's like it doesn't make sense. Like you're like, whoa, we talk about all the positive things that the team has, and then like you go out and have like an absolute shit performance. So we either lose by barely anything or we get absolutely fucked. There's like no in between. I would just like to win a game. I think we're 3-9. I don't know. This is week. No, 3-10. We won 3 games all season, which is horrible. So we didn't make. There's no way we're making the playoffs.
Sorry, bud.
Okay, it's all right. What else happened? Today I actually took my father-in-law to the airport, which is fine. I only mention this because I had a good time. This is the second time in the same month. Same month? I I think last month I took him to the airport. His mother's sick, so he's going out there to be with her while she's like going through like treatment and stuff for
Mm-hmm.
I think cancer. So I'm the only one of his, I guess, family members that doesn't have like a job and has a vehicle. He knows I don't do anything, so it's just like, yeah, man, I'll give you a ride. But it's cool. We chop it up. He likes to talk a lot about like bands and stuff because he grew up seeing like a lot of rock concerts and stuff, and so we just kind of talk about that, or we talk about getting drunk and stuff. He's like, hey, you got a drunk? So it's like, yeah, here we go. So he's kind of swap stories back and forth. So it's good. It's always a good time hanging out with him. Also, because he's not with like other people. I don't think he's more like free with the way he speaks. He's not like, well, I can't say that around because my niece is over there, or my daughter's there. So it's like he's just one of the boys. He hang out with the boys. So I was like, all right, my guy. It's fun.
So weird.
Yeah, it was a good time. And he also tells me stuff I don't know anything about. So he explained to me what refinancing is. He explained to me how investing money works. I was like, because he's a financial advisor. I was like, cool, man. All these words I've heard in the past, I don't know what they mean. So he's explaining things to me. He's like, nice. So this is what it's like to be an adult.
Context.
Yeah.
You learn stuff. That's
I've been learning stuff that, fucking when would my dad tell me what refinancing is? Never. He taught me how to make a taco. Like that's what the knowledge he would, gave me. So I have to learn this stuff elsewhere. What's a loan? Please, someone tell me how a loan works. What else? Okay. I've been also animating a bunch. I think I mentioned it before the pod started, or maybe even on the pod. I can't remember. Everything's just a blur. That as of today, I have 9 days till when my assignment's kind of done or whatever, or due. I either have 9 or 12. I try to add 3 days to 9 till shit's due. So I'm kind of like, I'm really like, I'm down to the wire. Like I just have to like animate as much as I can. So that's kind of exhausting. Since I started, animating during last week, I started an audiobook that I like. It's an actual book that I like. It's called Shadow of the Wind that I read when I was, I don't know, like a senior, and I really enjoyed it. And I own it. And I was like, oh, cool. I want to read this. And I think last month I pulled it out and started reading it. And then I realized I don't have time to read this. I was like, but I want to finish it because it's not a trilogy. It's one more than a trilogy. It's a trilogy plus one. I don't know what you call it. But I've only read the first 2 books, and I want to get the 3rd and 4th one. But I don't want to reread the 1st and 2nd one, because I just don't have the time. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll get an audiobook. I've done those in the past. They're not the worst. I really enjoyed it. It was 16 hours long. I finished it all while I was like animating. It's a great book. My only issue is the book is it's like it takes place in Spain, and so there's words that are used in Spanish, and whoever they got to do like their narration did a good job of making characters have like some sort of Spanish accent if that was their deal.
Yeah.
And like he would pronounce like all the street by their Spanish names properly and stuff. But I don't like the way he says Barcelona because it's not pronounced Barcelona, it's pronounced Barcelona, and I just I hate that. Just like the vos otros, nosotros kind of thing. I know you didn't take Spanish, but it's like it's an old. It's like the proper way to talk Spanish from Spain. So it's just like this, and I just don't like it. So every time he would say Barcelona, I'd like cringe. And then there was I think a paragraph where he like said the word like 4 or 5 times. I had to pause it. I was like, I gotta take a break. If this fucker says Barcelona one more time, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. But yeah, I finished that. I also listened to 3 albums while I was animating that I meant to listen to a long time ago, but I just never got around to it. So I listened to Beyonce's Lemonade, which I heard a lot of like positive things
we're
about.
Talking about Beyonce, this is perfect.
I was like, I have heard a lot of good things about it, but when it first came out, I think it was on exclusively Tidal or Apple Music, which I don't have either. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just never listen to this fucking album. And then I decided, hey, I wonder if it's on Spotify. It is. I listened to it. I enjoyed it. It was good. And then after that, I listened to The Weeknd's newest album, After Hours. I also enjoyed that. And then I listened to Igor, which is Tyler, the Creator's most recent album. And I was like, okay, that one's fine. Because like I feel like those 3 albums I saw get hyped up a bunch. At least like on the on my social media, on my end of stuff, like, hey, you're a basic bitch, check out these things. Yeah, they were, I liked some more than others. I didn't love them. Like, I'm not like infatuated with any of them. I think I liked Igor the least, but there were some songs on the album like, yeah, I get it. I understand how people will fuck with this. Last thing I want to talk about before I talk about the one anime I watched this week, was I had to, I remember texting you, I had to watch, Seraph of the End, and I wanted to watch on a Hulu because I was not in the mood to deal with Funimation.
Yeah.
And I went to go log in,
man.
I couldn't log in. Like I put my thing in, and like it's like, sorry. Something I'm really starting to hate is when they make you like verify that you're not a like a robot or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, pick the bicycles. Like, fuck, So I did that so many times. I was so fucking upset. But I thought maybe I'm just getting it wrong. Maybe I'm missing a fucking bicycle. Maybe I'm missing a fucking street light. But no, after like, I don't know, 20 attempts, like, no, this is absolutely something is wrong. What the fuck's going on? So I, had to do a convoluted way to eventually like get into it to reset my password. I do. It turns out my Hulu is one of the oldest subscription things I have. So it has an old email that I don't use anymore. So I was like, all right, cool. So I went to that old email, which I luckily have the password to. And I was able to, reset my password. But while I was there, I remember like looking at the, hey, it's like the Hulu's, you need help. Here's the ways we can help you. They also mentioned, like, hey, make sure, check your, I think it's like manage accounts, right? See like what accounts are there. And I was like, all right, cool. I have, 2 accounts, which is mine and Sierra's, like separate accounts for Hulu. So she can watch her stuff. I watch my stuff. And then on top of that, there were 3 other accounts that were not mine. And I was like, what? And these accounts had names on them. Like, it wasn't like it was just like, just like a blank account. That someone was
Tyler, Bill, and Corey were all watching. Yeah.
One was just T. One was Mira. And the last one was Guest, which was just a sneaky name of like when you name one something that someone won't notice, like.
Yeah, but then Mira and T really messed that up.
Yeah, I was like, I thought I could probably have a guest one. I was like, no, I fucking don't. There's no way I would have a guest profile for Hulu. So then I deleted them. I mentioned this to Sierra. She's like, did you look to see what they were watching? It's like, no, I should have. I fucked up, and I thought of that.
It's fine. I thought about that. Even bring that up. I
thought that like after I deleted, like, I should have checked what they were watching. Whatever. But then I went into my old email, and I'd got like within the last, I don't know, year or something, I'd got notification to say like, hey, someone from Illinois, someone from Texas, someone from Nebraska has logged into your Hulu, like, and they give you the notification, and they go, if this is you, ignore this. If it's not, do something about it. So I just didn't see them because it's an old email. And I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. Not only do these fuckers steal my Hulu and like use my Hulu, they also on top of that change the password and try to block me out of my own Hulu. I was like, this is bullshit. The least they could have done is just leave the password the same and have me be living, in blissful ignorance or whatever. They're like, yeah, there's just people, fucking parasiting off of my Hulu. But yeah, that was wild to find out. I don't know how that shit happens, but it happened. That's it, man. That's all I've been up to. That's all I really want to talk about.
I wanted to bring one thing up before we talk about anime news or anime, what we've been watching and whatnot.
Okay.
Eliza brought this Twitter account to my attention. It's called Lyric Shit Posts for anybody that wants to look it up. And she sent me one of them that was something about it's like a line from a song, and it says the artist in the name of the song. Mm-hmm. She sent me one that was something about like balls sticking to my jeans or something. And she was like, this is what I'm going to send people when they ask why I don't listen to music in English. She's always listening to K-pop and shit, right? Yeah. So I've been really into this this account. They just post all the time. So I've got Fly, Go Hard, Like Geass, Erection. That's Lil Wayne. Dr. Carter is the name of the song.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then we have Alien Sex, I'm a Disrobe You, Then I'm a Probe You.
Oh, I know that one. Is that is there more to it, or can I guess?
That's the line.
Is that Dark Horse, Katy Perry?
No, you're close though.
Is Katy Perry involved?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is Dark Horse, and it's the guy that's. Oh damn! I don't know who it is. Then.
E.T. remix. It's Katy Perry.
Okay, so the original song is Dark Horse with it's one of the Migos guys there, because I've absolutely heard those lyrics. So someone must have remixed that. That's hella funny.
And then we have when he fuck me good, I take his ass to Red Lobster.
Okay, that's when he fuck me good, I take his ass to Red Lobster. Is that? Oh, that's Formation. That's Beyonce.
It sure is.
Mama Alabama. I like that song. It's a good song.
Yeah, man. All those lyrics are fucking garbage.
They're amazing.
And I love that. Well, yeah, there's all kinds of different music. Like, some of my favorite songs are just not great lyrics, but really pretty sounds.
They sounds good.
Yeah, man.
That's funny, man. Yeah, cool. I'm glad that we did that. Good job. Well done. Good segue. All right, man.
Anyways,
I only watched one anime this entire week.
What was it?
The first episode of season 4 of Attack on Titan.
All right, let's get into it.
It's hot garbage. Instagram podcast hates it.
What the fuck?
Don't add us.
No,
that's true. The stance. That's the stance.
That's the stance. That's what you said. We have to stand by it, I guess. Yeah, Studio Mappa took over for season 4. We've been excited. I've been super fucking pumped about this.
I want to say I have not been excited about the Mappa taking over. I want to make that very clear. I was very wary.
No. I've been excited about season 4.
Okay.
Regardless.
Okay.
I have trust in Mappa to do some good stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think that they did do some good stuff. But I think that the studio change, despite like an animation change, which we all expected, it comes along with other things that would change. I feel like they're being very faithful to the manga with a lot of stuff. They're also slightly changing things, which is always natural. They're adding in scenes. And some stuff doesn't feel as like Attack on Titan as you would expect. Mm-hmm. So to avoid spoilers for the plot of the first episode of season 4, for anybody out there, for whatever reason you haven't watched fucking Attack on Titan, even though you've been waiting for it for 8 years. Anyways. It's fucking good. It skips 4 years ahead right off the bat, and we get some story of that. And they do certain things with the plot that are very Attack on Titan, where you don't know what's happening, but you're in it to find out, and they keep giving you like more information. And I feel like we're going to get to the point where we understand what's going on pretty quickly. When I say understand what's going on, I mean like contextually with our characters and kind of what this season wants us to see. We're going to understand what's happening with that. But then I was complaining before we started recording that there was one particular bit where a character is tying some like gauze around the head of another character, and it just felt more cartoonish and more anime than Attack on Titan normally is. Like every once in a while they'll do stuff like that where they do make a joke while everyone else is being very serious. But this just felt like the animation changed and like the tone shifted from being very serious war shell shock type stuff to being an anime. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like that. Like, I feel like with Attack on Titan, you're pretty immersed in the world in general. And something about this episode didn't make me feel that way. And I'm hoping that it's just like first episode kind of figuring out like, for just figuring out what the story is. And maybe because we're not as connected with where this is starting, maybe there's just that disconnect. But I for sure didn't feel as good about it as I thought I might. I'm very excited to see more. I think I'm going to come around to it, and I've got guesses of what they're trying to do with the plot.
Right.
Fuck, dude, I'm excited. This is going to be fun. Yeah,
I would say that, like, obviously I don't hate it. That was a hot take.
That was a bit.
Joke. It was a haha. It was just a joke. But yeah, I mean, it did feel different. It didn't feel as Attack on Titan as like the other seasons have. Some of that has to do with like just like little things, like the intro and outro don't bop like the way.
I feel like it's safe to talk about the intro and outro without spoiling anything major. The intro is by the same people that did like my favorite outro of Attack on Titan, where it shows the Titans walking into the ocean and the weird ass like ancient storybook looking style. So it's the same band that does that. The visuals look really pretty and it's super cool, but it keeps repeating them again and again and again. And it's like, how many of these same explosions with slightly different like styles colors, and effects and colors do I have to see before we get to the cool shit? The song didn't have that like really solid linked horizon. Like, all right, we're singing, Sasageos are coming out, like all that good shit. Don't worry, boys. Didn't have that feeling. So I'm guessing that halfway through the season, they're going to change up the intro and outro to make it feel like a really solid end to Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Because both the intro, like that was the intro. You're supposed to be hyped. It's a lot more calm with like very... The visuals look good. Don't get me wrong, but they're repetitive. Very just unnecessary length of an intro.
So you know, just like that, just like little like things like that. Obviously,
I'm nitpicking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. But we should nitpick. It's like it's one of the best animes out there. So like when things change, it's like, well, you're just gonna be like, no, we're okay with this. Like, no, things are different. It's not like visually, you can tell, it looks different. It looks like a different studio is doing it. But it's not like horrible like the way I felt when I watched, you know, season 2 of like One Punch Man. I know it's not like some people argue like, oh, it doesn't look that bad. I hate the way it looks. And I like JC Staff. I just don't like what they fucking did. It just doesn't look right. This one, the 2D animation, I'm like, you know what? I was like, you know what? It's a little different. It gives me huge manga vibes. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, totally fine. Looks great.
The 3D animation still has yet to convince me at points. At points, I'm like, you know what? This isn't that bad. And other things, I'm like, you know what? That looks pretty ass. They should do something better.
The 3D animation that they had for the Titans looks a lot better than the 3D animation for the Titans previously. But like the 3D maneuver gear and other 3D elements that we probably didn't notice was 3D, that Studio Wit was able to do, they did great job with certain things. I was into it. I thought that they did fantastic 3D in certain areas. But the thing that Mappa hasn't done so far is, you know, the Beast Titan, like we've gotten close up of his face and he looks great in 2D, and then the way he chucks shit looks fucking fantastic. Real
exaggerated like baseball pitch. It's like it looks really good.
It looks so good. And then when you translate, instead of having that stylized, like, oh, look at this arm and like pan down it and has all these emphasized dark lines like Studio Wit like to do, Mappa's fully 3D and it doesn't hit the same, you know?
Yeah, don't hit right.
It still looks really good. Like, don't get me wrong, his model is pretty solid, the movements are pretty solid, but it just doesn't have that impact of the 2D animation, that stylized animation, you know?
Yeah, and I think the last thing that I have to say that just kind of threw me for a loop is because there's a time gap, I was expecting to see our boys. I didn't see our boys. I saw different people, new people.
And it's kind of hard to be attached, right?
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to care about, you know, them because like I don't know who they are, and they didn't do the best job to make me care for many of them. I think maybe I liked 2 of them, but for the most part, like I don't feel any connections to the other ones.
I'm very excited. I'm okay with this. I already went through this with
what
The
your
Last
thoughts?
of Us Part 2, and I am 100% on board for these new people. Excited to see what kind of an emotional journey they go through, how many of them are gonna die, and etc. You know?
Yeah. So you know, that just it. Like, I mean, I wanted one thing, and they just didn't give me. I mean, we did get to see people that we recognize from the earlier seasons, but like nothing really blew me away in that regards when it comes to cast, which is fine. I mean, I'm sure I'll get to know them and like them eventually. It's just I wanted one thing and I didn't get that thing, which is. I can't fucking say anything about it, honestly. Just have to wait. And lastly, I think it was the fact that they kept reminding me that it was 4 years, that there was a time jump, and I go, fucking shut up, just sleep, fucking, you said it plenty, just stop saying it. It's shit like that, and like in other shows it happens to, well, they're like, it's not as bad as like Pokemon or like Yu-Gi-Oh when they're like telling you like, that's what this trap card does. We know what a fucking trap card does. Fucking Tristan, shut up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So whenever a show like Attack on Titan that doesn't really do that very often does that a bunch, I was like, I don't know, like it made me feel like dumb. I was like, they're treating me like a dumb person. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited for season 4 for whatever comes of it and how it ends. It's supposed to be the final season. Yeah, I'm happy that it's finally here and it's gonna finally come to fruition. I'm still mad about season 2 taking forever to come out. Go fuck yourself, Wit. I hate your guts. Yeah.
Sorry, man. Sorry you still feel that way. Well, I've watched a bunch of anime. I got
man.
caught up since last week. I didn't really watch a whole lot. So Digimon, I'm not sure if it's on a break right now or what the deal is, but we definitely have Kari as part of the group. She just like got summoned in last minute in the last episode. So I'm excited to see what the fuck's going on with that. Now we're finally gonna get some cat boys joining the group. I don't remember the name of the cat.
Gatomon.
Gatomon?
Oh, I don't know. I just guessed. I just figured that was a good guess.
Pretty solid guess. I think it is Gatomon. Something like that. Yeah, man, I'm stoked about that. But again, Digimon is just one of those shows that I'm watching and I don't really give a fuck about. But then we get into Haikyuu and I'm just nonstop excited through the whole episode. And one thing that Haikyuu really excels at doing is instead of having these big moments that are like, oh, holy shit, did you see that? That was crazy. That was over the top. Like the biggest moments of the show are always just like, oh my God, a character learned how to do the thing that everyone else knows how to do. It was one of those moments. So I'm watching it and I'm like, all right, because we've already gotten some amazing smashes and whatnot. It's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Then this last episode that I watched was like in the middle of a match and they were like, holy shit, did you see what just happened there? Everybody's freaking out over one character doing something that like everyone else does. So it was fucking woo. It was choice. Don't want to spoil it because you're about to get into it pretty soon here in like a couple of weeks. But
yeah,
choice. Very fun. Jujutsu Kaisen, great animation. All right show. Having a fun time with it. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, all right, cool. The intro's sick as fuck. And then I get reminded pretty quickly like, oh, that's right. It's like very, very anime where all these characters have just insane power and this guy's beautiful for some reason. And that panda talks and like, it's anime. It's fun. Is there anything else? I think that might just be it on Crunchyroll. It's just like 3, and then now there's Attack
you're
on
watching.
Titan.
You're watching. Oh yeah, So yeah, Haikyuu. You're right. So yeah,
I think that's it. So then let's go on to Akudama Drive. The point we're at in Akudama Drive is like a really fucking who knows what this show even is anymore kind of situation. To where everybody is trying to kill the swindler. Like she has a target on her back and literally every human is like, all right, we're going to kill her and we're going to make a bunch of money. Despite her just being a regular ass dude. The whole main mission is now over and we're into like scrambling to figure out what the fuck is going to happen. And it's really fun. It's cool. I love that we get to see characters in all these different lights. Like it starts out and it's just like, look at how badass they are. Look at how cool they are in this group. Look at how funny or dorky. And then we get to see like the different human elements of all these people. And we're at the point now where there are a couple of characters that are still around that are still acting kind of like how they were when they were a part of the bigger group, but they're being a lot more authentic with certain things. So the courier, I'm really liking his thing. I think that was his name, the like bike man.
The bike guy, yeah, is the courier, yeah.
I'm really liking that he just keeps going like, it's all part of the job again and again, and like finds a way to make that same excuse in order to help out the people that he likes that were a part of the group. It's fun. It's a really fun, super stylized, over the top, violent, gory, messy plot of a show, and it's awesome, and I love it. You should watch it. On the other end of things, we have Adachi and Shimamura. And dog, this show is just like, I'm into it, man. I am so into it. I know that you were hesitant about that other girl. I still stick by what I said. You know, like whatever happens, and I'll support Shimamura either way.
No, fuck her.
But I would be a lot more stoked if Adachi and Shimamura wind up together. And this new girl, I don't know how much she has to offer. But I just watched the episode where Adachi and Shimamura were hanging out on Valentine's Day, just having a nice little trip to the mall. And yeah, that chick was for sure just flying around. And I loved it because she was just like, she's got like really shiny hair. And she's like, that's the thing you're looking at right now? Even though she's just like circling around this little girl, flying and floating. Yeah, show's fun. It's dumb in like different ways where they're just like, let's just look at an alien really quick and them having a fun time. But then it gives us that raw, authentic romance that I think we've been kind of lacking for the last few seasons. You know?
Yeah. No, I feel like it's been a while since we've damn it.
I know, shut up. Just you're the only one that cares, man.
Since we've, had some real love up in this, biz, and don't matter if it's girls loving girls or boys loving boys, we about it.
We about it. We all
I like
about
that show
love.
a lot. So yeah, I'm for sure gonna catch up with that pretty soon. But yeah, it's a solid show.
Sweet. Sleepy Princess and the Demon Castle. It's become a lot more of they know she's gonna escape or whatever all the time, and they're trying to find different ways to deal with her and make her realize that she's a prisoner. So they've gone from like completely ignoring her in like every possible way they can to showing her what actual prisoners are like. So then she winds up being like, so you want me to act like them? And they're like, yeah, or like more like a prisoner or something. And she's like, stay away from me, monster. And they're like, no, not like that. Like, you can still act normal with us. And then she's just screaming the whole time. And it turns out that that is not what they wanted at all, because they want the princess to like them, because they're trying really hard for the princess to like be saved by the hero. And they're like a whole part of that. And they're trying to train the hero. It's a whole thing. So they have this complicated relationship where they're trying to balance it, and the princess doesn't give a fuck, and she's just having a good time fucking with everyone. And then after they're like, all right, look, we messed up. We were clearly wrong. You could just act normal or whatever. And she's like, okay, that's cool. And they're like, but could you like try to act more like a prisoner sometimes? She's like, you know what? I'll do that. That sounds good. So she's hanging out, and they're like, oh, hey, you have a bunch of sleep potions and you can't have those. Those are ours. We have to have those. She's like, monster, stay away. And she's like guards her potions. Is like, stay the fuck away. I have that power now. I know you don't like it. These are mine. I fucking love it. It's chaotic. So it's fun.
She's taking sleep potions also to help her sleep.
Oh, anything, dude. Yeah.
Why is she so tired, Trip? What is she doing?
Well, she just likes to sleep. It's not, you don't have to be tired to enjoy sleeping, right?
I guess it's a good point.
Every once in a while, you're like, I'm just not up to much. I want to take a nap. Then you nap for like an hour, and you're like, fuck, that was good. I could go for another nap in an hour here. Those days?
Yeah, no, I guess you got a point. I just thought it was interesting. I just thought maybe she was just always tired, but no, you're right. She could just like sleeping.
She loves, that's the whole point. She's like trying to get the most luxurious sleep that she possibly can. She's having a great time. It's fun. Next up, the Gymnastics Samurai. Still fine. It's going back into some backstory of how he learned how to do the triple backflip, and now he's successfully like ready for the fourth, and he's done that. So now he's going to try to bring that into a performance. And then I got into the backstory of his wife dying, and how he got the news when he was at a competition and he was about to go. And that's when he first successfully pulled off the triple backflip. And then he went to do it a second time, and he slipped and he messed up because he was distracted thinking about how his wife just died in a car accident.
Damn.
So yeah, she's an actress chick. She died in a car accident. He dealt with that at a show, and it shows the little girl and their pet bird, which they called Big Bird, when they're younger. And it's just kind of sad. This is a little somber time, but it was also nice to give us context of the family and kind of how everything happened and see what kind of people they used to be. Wondering which the journey of Elena, man. This shit, I'm so excited for you to watch it. We got an episode where she has to go back in time with somebody who's like, please help me with this. I'll like do anything. And she's like, what do you need? She's like, look, I made this for years. We have to go back in time and help out this girl. Well, she was being really secretive. She's like, you just have to agree to help me. Okay, you're good, right? And they go back in time. She uses up all of her magic so that she can go back in time. She's like, I'm going to get rid of all of it, but we're going to wear these rings where we get to share magic. So I'm going to take your magic and I'm going to be able to use magic again, still, while we're here. So the whole idea was she was trying to save her best friend from being a murderer. She wound up having her parents murdered, and then she was a murderer. And in this past, her best friend kills her parents and then realizes that she likes killing, so she has to kill her friend. And the whole point was she didn't want to have to kill her friend, so she was going back to the past to stop her from being a murderer, so she didn't have to kill her friend, but she just wound up having to kill her friend again. It was a whole dark thing, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm into it. This is great.
Yeah, shit sounds heavy.
Kino's journey shit. Mm-hmm. And then the next episode was like, hey, you know the lady that trained? Yeah, you know them. Anyways, here's some backstory on them. So we just got like a flashback episode where they were really fucking badass. And instead of it being that like tension of, oh man, what's going to happen? Is somebody going to get really sad? This was just like, well, I know they're both going to be like dope friends in the future, so they must just be doing cool stuff. Maybe somebody they care about is going to die, but I only know them for like a minute, and they are already dead in the main show, so it just felt like it didn't have as much impact, which I wasn't as into, but I do like those backstory episodes for context. So yeah, I don't really know how to feel about it, but really, really beautiful, solid show about fucked up witch stuff going on. Then we have Hypnosis Mike, Division, Rap, Battle, Rhyme, Anima. Dude, we are now in the end game of this show where the different rap groups are rapping at each other, and it's fucking great. They have like a whole competition where they're like, all right, so you go up, do a 1v1, and then 1v1 and 1v1, then we do 2v2, then we do 3v3, but if y'all get knocked out by my raps, then you're knocked out. And it's like going fucking big on the style of like what kind of speakers pop up, what kind of like a whole, I don't know what to call it other than like stage, how the stage changes, summoning like actual skeletons to attack your enemies and stuff by rapping really good at them. It's been so dumb and so much fun. But the plot's stupid and I don't give a fuck who wins. I just don't want it to be the one with the businessman and the doctor, and like I just don't care about that group.
Mm-hmm. That one has I think that's one has the boy that has like the squeaky voice. Is that them? He's got like a really flamboyant voice. Or is that a different group?
No, that's a different group, and I fucking love that group.
Wow,
I don't like that guy. That guy's my favorite. He got his ass rocked.
I don't like that guy
at the last second because of the other one. I like his voice. I think that it goes really good with like his whole style. It's a very like lollipop rap kind of situation. And I like it because he's paired up with like the guy that's all about like gambling, death and skeletons and stuff, and the gambling guy. Yeah, he's just got like a cool ass group. And I'm into it. But they lost, so I don't really give a fuck. I just hope that it's not the ones that I don't like that win. Just because I don't like their style as much. I don't like their vibes. I'm not a big fan of the military group's vibes, but like, fuck it, dude. I'm in as long as this group that I don't like gets beaten. Except they do have, when it was like showing speaker type things for each of them, they have one of the sickest looking speakers, which is just this golden kind of like angelic symbol of medicine. And it also has like a speaker in the center of it. It was tight and I was into it. And then we're on to Assault Lily Bouquet. And so I didn't mention last week or the week before or whatever, but they fought a giant thing and then a girl came out of it. And then they named the girl after the two main characters. One of them is named Yu and the other one is named Riri. So they put their names together and it's Yuri. So You got this Yuri ass girl who's learning how to be Lily, and then they were just doing some teaching, and then they went, oh no, don't go in there, like you'll die, like be careful, we don't trust you. And then she did big fights, and I think she died. I don't remember one hundo, but like whatever, one of them died. I don't know. I don't care. It looks badass. That's all that I care about the show. I want figures of all of these characters. I love their weapons. I don't really care for the like French made kind of clothing that they have, but honestly, like they all have very unique looking character designs for the show. Like I've seen characters that look similar to all of them pretty much.
Yeah.
But they all have very distinct character designs along with their weapons. And I don't know, I'm kind of into it. I want figures of all of them, but that would be, I don't know how much money. So we're never going to have that.
Yeah.
I think that's all the anime, dude. I don't think I have any more anime.
Dude, good job, man. You killed it.
I've listed anime in my life, and that was a lot of it. Do you want to learn about news? Anime news?
I would love to hear the news.
Let's get into the news. So Dr. Stone Wars is going to premiere on January 14th. That's in like a month.
That's heavy, dude. I can't wait to see Dr. Stone take on the other guy, the not Dr. Stone guy.
Yeah.
Probably not going to watch this season.
Look, man, I'm going to watch the first episode, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's during the whole season of you might as well just go for it.
Okay.
But Dr. Stone is one of those shows that just feels like it wants to be cooler than it is. You know? How much Dr. Stone did you wind up watching? All of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Stone just feels like it's trying to be cooler than it is, right?
I don't know. I just think my biggest complaint was that it doesn't look that great. And I'm kind of bummed out because I saw a lot of promotions for it. And I was like, this looks amazing. Dude. And then I saw it and I was like, this looks kind of fucking
The backgrounds were kind of cool.
They got some really ugly anime faces. I don't know what it is. And I'm usually a huge fan of anime faces. Not the worst anime faces, mind you. Fucking Golden Kamuy somehow pulled that out with the girl with the ugly ass face. I don't know, man. I guess, yeah, if you're watching the first episode, I guess I can watch the first episode. But I know people are excited for that, so yeah, awesome.
All right. And now, most people probably already know this, but Crunchyroll servers had a really difficult time amongst the flood of like everyone trying to get in and watch Attack on Titan right when it aired. I mean, they told the specific time. They were like 12:45, and I was like, I'm fucking there. I got in, I watched it, done, easy. That's all I needed. But everyone was having a really hard time watching it because the servers were so overwhelmed, which is super understandable. Like, I don't know how you can prepare for that much of an influx of viewers all at once.
Yeah, that's pretty wild to think that they were going down or whatever, or was having issues. But I mean, it's a really popular show. So, and I know people are super hyped about this final season, so it makes sense. Lucky for me, I didn't watch it till today, so no problem with servers.
Hell yeah, dude. And then since we're talking about Attack on Titan, the final season is listed as having 16 episodes across 2 Blu-ray discs. So I'm kind of expecting it to be about 8 episodes of the current story and then 8 episodes of more story into a wrap up.
Yeah. We were talking about that. I was asking you if it was 2 cour, if you happen to know, and you said you hit me with 16. I was like, that's an interesting number. 16 is not very common. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what they decide to do with that too. 8 and 8 sounds like a good idea if you're going to make that your cour. I would hate for it to be like they do 12 episodes and then 4 episodes of epilogue. I think that's also like a possibility where they'll be like, let's just wrap this up. And it's just 12 episodes of this. I wouldn't care for that
curse
either.
On us, man.
I'm just saying it's a possibility.
It's true. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Code Geass Z of the Recapture anime has been announced. So there was going to be that big Code Geass announcement, and it happened, and that's what it was.
So it wasn't a pachinko machine.
We are getting a new anime.
Oh, fuck, dude. I was really hoping for that pachinko, man.
It's fine.
Cool.
You could get another show or something. One will come around for you.
I don't, to my recollection, remember watching more than a handful of episodes a long time ago, catching them at weird hours on, was it Adult, no, not Adult Swim, Toonami. So, yeah, I'm interested to see the first episode of this, whatever it may be. I don't know if I'm willing to go back and watch the old series because it's kind of old.
Look, man, I tried and was like, I know what this is doing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is great. It's awesome. I'm glad that this is getting some more attention, and I know other people are super excited because it's like one of their like fucking favorite shows ever. So dope.
Yeah, man. Finally, ReZero Starting Life in Another World second season is going to have a live special on YouTube December 10th, which is Thursday at 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I've got that link. I'm going to put it just because in the Twitch chat. We also have it down in the description below for the episode. Cool. So people that are hella hyped about it, now you can go and watch it. It's going to happen.
When you said live, I was like live action? They're going to do a live action episode? Like a crossover? No, they're just going to premiere it live, I'm assuming.
No.
Right? It's an actual live action?
But no, it's not a live action. It's like a live like thing where they talk about it and they
lame
like interviews, questions, that kind of stuff around the episode. I think
I'd rather have a live action episode. That's like just one episode's that like actors and people and stuff. That'd be funny as shit.
That'd be pretty dope if they were just like, check it out, we're gonna do a stage performance live right now. Let's go. That'd be dope.
If they just decided to, episode 12 is gonna be done live. And we're never gonna have it. And we're never gonna have it animated. It's just like this is the way you have to watch it. That'd be funny.
Yeah, just like the discs have all 11 episodes, but then the last episode you have to go onto YouTube.
Here's the link in the on the back of the Blu-ray.
Fucking
That's
perfect.
Funny.
That's the
cool,
news
man.
that I have for you, man.
That's some good news. Good job.
Thank you. I worked hard on looking at a couple of things. So I guess we're going to talk about Seraph of the End. We're only talking about the first cour, the first season, the first half, first part, because it's listed as two separate parts, despite being the exact same story, and it all ties into each other, and it really doesn't feel like it has a cutoff. And they all aired simultaneously, or not simultaneously, sequentially, week after week.
It very obviously feels like the to be continued at the end of episode 12 is like, cool, I should keep watching this because there's no real resolution after 12. I felt very unsatisfied with where we ended, but that makes sense because I guess whenever this aired, they didn't stop, right? So it is strange that they called this season 1. But you and I agreed we're gonna watch 12 episodes, and that's what we did.
That's what we did. I will be watching more because I feel like I kind of have to. There are some times where I'm not as intrigued. Like it didn't work out for me with a certain scientific railgun. I expected to be more into that, but it also cut off. Like the first season, it did end,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Versus Seraph of the End, which continues.
Did not end, yeah.
Anyways, earlier I mentioned that it was made by the studio Wit. They've done stuff like Attack on Titan, Vinland Saga, and After the Rain. Bunch of different kinds of shows. They've made some really beautiful stuff. And this kind of feels like their goal at a slightly younger audience than Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Not that much younger, but young enough to where like you could see some violence, but we're not going to make it like scary. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like a little darker than Naruto, but it's not by that much. Like I've seen the same amount of blood in Naruto.
Yeah, but like later.
Yeah, but I also haven't seen someone shoot someone's head off with a gun in Naruto.
Episode 1, baby. All right, so let's get into it.
Yeah. You want me to take this?
Yeah, I'll just say this. I don't give a fuck about the intro or outro. Like somebody who loves the intro and outro of most shows.
Yeah.
Fuck these. I would, if you said what are they, I would be like, I don't know, like shots of the characters with some like kind of, I don't know, it like atmospheric techno. I don't know.
The intro was really bad. And I think I played it every time. And the reason I played it every time was because at least on Hulu, when I would play it, the first thing that would pop up was the Warner Brothers. No, the Universal thing.
Yeah, Universal.
Yeah, what is it? Dun dun. No, it's not that one. You know what I'm talking about. But so it felt really
around the world. Yeah,
It felt like, it was like I'm about to watch a movie, and then they would do the Funimation sound, and it's like, and then the intro would happen. But yeah, the intro sucked ass. Like, it was just not good.
Yeah, and when you start a show with that, it's like, dude, I don't give a, I don't care. I just,
I think
I'm wasting my time with this, is the way I feel. And then you see the show and you're like, why is the intro like that? Like, what the fuck?
I think episode 1 doesn't have an intro. I think it just kind of starts up and you're kind of like in it.
Mm-hmm.
And we get the intro episode 2. And the intro at episode 2 spoiled everything. I was like, oh, fucking lame, dude. I was like, really? Stupid.
I was like, he's still alive?
The shit? Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I know what's happening now. It sucked ass. Okay, yeah, so the premise is, I guess it's like in a modern time, you know, there is some sort of pandemic.
It's in the age of vampires, but it's like kind of modern day, but not really.
It's like, from what I gathered, it's like modern day, and there's these vampires that were underground that kind of start abducting children during a global pandemic. Fucking very, when there's like, oh, the pandemic's killing people, I was like, that's not why Trip picked this, is he? Because that'd be really morbid. It just kind of worked out that way. But there's a pandemic, and there's a lot of people passing, dying from it. And these kids get, the kids that we're following, like these orphans, get captured by these vampires and taken underground. And there's like, look, we'll protect you guys. You just fucking feed us your blood and stuff. So they become, they call them livestock, right? Or yeah, livestock. They're essentially farming them for their blood, and they live pretty shitty lives. They get their blood drawn. They don't get much food. It's kind of sad. And I was like, cool. I like this this fucking concept. It is dark. And our main character is very gung ho about not needing anyone. He's a fresh orphan. He's a new orphan. Yeah. And he's only an orphan because his mom died, and then his dad tried to kill him or something like that. It's like it's barely mentioned. It's like, yeah, that
doesn't matter. He was like a baby or whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah, and he's just like, I don't need no one. And then the other main character, is just like, ha ha ha, idiot. We're family. Blah. It's like, doesn't matter if you don't need anyone. You have us. And they become friends, and they have a bond or whatever. And their goal is to escape from this underground world, because they're led to believe that anybody over the age of 13 will instantly catch whatever the sickness is and then die. So they're under 13, and it's like, we're 12. If we get out now, we'll have I love this line. It's like, if we get out now, we'll have about a whole year to try to solve, a cure for this curse. I was like, you fucking idiots. You're children. You guys, exactly. I'm like, you guys are fucking children, you fucking child. What a dumb thought to have. I was like, yeah, you're gonna go out in the world, and then within a year you're gonna fucking mix some beakers together and like, hey, if you rub some Robitussin and have some Pop Rocks, it just all goes away. Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Anyways, they decide to escape. And I thought they were gonna do it, Trip. I really thought like they were getting out. I was like, oh my god, what a fucking uplifting first episode. They don't. They run into a vampire.
I like that you got to that point.
I was like, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, man, I'm liking this. Like, yeah. It gave me, like, what's it? Promised Neverland vibes. Like, yeah, fucking get out there, man. Fucking do the thing. Live out in the world. Cure the thing. I don't know. But they run into a vampire who had purposely kind of, tricked them to fail, let them steal the map for them to escape, for him just to kind of fuck with them. And he just wrecks fucking shop. He, like, fucks up this kid's family, like obliterates them. It's horrible. It's so good. It's like, it was like, I'm like, yeah, this is what I like. Just seeing these kids get pasted. So the two main characters are like in the battle for their lives or whatever. And what's his name? The Mika, is that his name?
Yeah.
The
blonde one.
He's the blonde one. He's like the nicer of the two, not an asshole of the two. And he like sacrifices himself. And then a really badass move, our other homie fucking shoots a pistol in the vampire's face and kills him. And I was like, yeah, that was sick as fuck. And then he tells him to escape. Like, hey, get out of here before other vampires show up. And he does. He escapes.
Yeah, as he's like missing an arm and like crawling on the ground and bleeding everywhere. And
Mika's like, go. And he's just like, I don't want to. It's like, fucking go. He
So
leaves.
you pieces off, and then he winds up being found immediately, and they're like, "All right, we found one of the kids. We'll take him back."
Not only
Fast
did they
forward, what?
find one of the kids, the guy that finds him, he also does this thing. He's like, ah, yes, as the prophecy spoke.
Yeah, he says
I was
some
just
shit
like,
about the prophecy.
and I was like, is when he said that, Trip, I was like, is this that kind of show? Is that what we're watching?
That's what we're watching. Yeah, he's the angel demon, dude. He's gonna get in there. He's gonna fucking kill all the vampires. It's gonna be some absolute bullshit.
I was so confused. I was like, this feels like it didn't feel like that kind of show. And then it's just like,
no, the whole first episode was just like dark and grim, and I didn't care about the characters a whole lot. But then they just like killed everyone. I was like, well, I didn't expect everyone to die, but okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then it gets in the second episode, and at this point I texted you and I was like, so this show might be interesting. I don't really know, but it's about to do something that I don't really know how I feel about. And the second episode starts and it's like they're in just fucking high school. Like you is in high school, like regular ass high school. But also they fight demons and shit and vampires and who fucking knows, whatever.
Yeah, I think that it was like your first text was like, hey, this might not be that bad. And then the second text that you sent me, like within, I don't know, like 20 minutes, is just like, oh, they did something I absolutely hate in episode 2. I don't know how I feel about this show anymore. And so I went into episode 2, like wondering, like, what could they do that like upset Trip kind of thing? And it's like opens up on him. Okay, so besides introducing us to the horrible intro song, it just opens up with him being in school at like a normal high school, and I was like, "Fuck this show!"
Because I was so committed. I was watching, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, we got an interesting thing. Prophecy, okay, cool. So it's going to be part of some war. I could see stuff's going on." And then I didn't predict it was going to wind up in school at all. But as soon as that happened, all of my commitment just like ran away, and I'm like, you gotta learn how to be a better show. So as I kept watching it, my opinion changed a little bit. Of course, it went from being like, fuck this show, I fucking hate this shit, to being like, it's all right. It's got some cool fights. It's just it's never going to be a show that I would recommend to anybody. It has this very clear vibe of like the edgy kids from junior high that want to like do the coolest anime bullshit. It's one of those things. Like, I could totally see this being, we were talking about this, I could see this being somebody's favorite show solely based off of this is the first like edgy anime they see, and that just hits them in the right way when they're young. I could see this being somebody's favorite show, but god damn it if this show didn't need to exist. Like
it's like I agree. I can imagine this being someone's like, this is the hill that they die on. Like, this is the fucking show. Like, if I were in middle school and I was like, oh yeah, guys, I just watched this episode of Naruto and it was really good, and someone's just like, you should watch Seraph at the end. It is so much better. I was just, I can absolutely hear like someone saying that to me, and me being like, oh, what's that on? And like, it's hard to watch. You got to watch it on like this, like, this other site. You probably don't even know about it. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna watch Naruto.
100% the show that it is, and I don't know, man. It like, I don't want to shit on it too much.
No, I mean, I'm shitting on it because I'm having a good time hanging out with you. It's fine. Like,
but it really lacks any substance. I felt like they wanted to be important, but they just couldn't figure out how, because Wit had done at this point Attack on Titan season 1, which was incredible. It starts off, first episode, so good. It shows you this whole world. It really sets it up, and then they completely disrupt that with the Titans, and Aaron's mom like dies, and it's just nuts right off the bat. And then you go into this and you're like, the entire family's dead, but for some reason it doesn't feel as substantial. And then if you went into Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, that first episode is one of the best first episodes of any show that I've seen, because I was so interested in seeing what the world would be. And then our main character was like the biggest edgelord of all time, who fucking kills himself and becomes a half zombie hybrid crazy person. That's also
he hung himself.
Genius.
Yeah,
Right. He strangled himself and hung himself with his belt.
I gotta
And
protect my
also
brain.
like stapled a shit ton of metal
His
into
arm.
himself so that he could try to prevent the zombie disease from spreading to his brain.
My god! I just realized. So it's seventh grade me saying Naruto's the best. Some other seventh grader being like, Seraph of the End is way better, and then an eighth grader coming in like, have you guys even watched Cabanera of the Iron Fortress? Like that's such a good show. But that's because they went even further, right? Like they, as opposed to being like kind of middling of the road.
Cabanera had a lot of fucking bullshit, but
Yeah.
man, if they didn't come in with so much style and just like
the bells, dude.
An incredible introduction to a character that you're like, I don't really know. And you're like, damn, that guy, woof. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Seraph of the End, it doesn't hit that point where you're excited in the same ways of Attack on Titan or Cabaneri with the first episode. And then it goes into high school and it deals with, we're a high school kid, but we want to be important. So we're going to constantly try to fight demons and vampires just because we're a little edgy kid.
Right.
And then the teacher's so lazy. Isn't it funny? Like, he doesn't even want to be a teacher. That's fucking funny. Oh, shit. He's actually a really good demon killer kind of guy. Dope.
They kill. Hold on. They kill vampires and they use demons to kill vampires.
But they kill people that are possessed by demons, which they call demons.
I thought those were humans that weren't vampires. Like they, if a vampire doesn't drink blood, they turn into one of those things.
Yeah, but you know how they were trying to take over okay, so there's a whole thing in this fucking show where people will get special weapons that are possessed by demons, and if they touch these demon-possessed weapons, then the demon can possess the humans, and then the humans become a demon, is what I understood it was.
Right, but aren't those things not the big white things they were fighting? Those are different things. Like, the big white things had a specific name. They were called, like, Horsemen of the something. And I was
not those.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah. You're talking about possessed
No, I'm talking about just regular-ass humans that get possessed. Because it felt like they were starting off low. They were just like, vampires exist, but there's also demons. And demons are less scary than vampires, but they're still scary. We make pacts with demons. And you're just like, okay, sure. Give me more information. And I don't know, man, the way that they kind of like made all these different convoluted points of like, these are the bad guys, but these are also bad guys, but we're friends with these bad guys, but watch out, they'll still get you. Vampires aren't actually that bad, but we don't trust them ever. Fuck vampires. And the vampires are like, we have a whole regime of trained attack vampires to go up and kill all the humans. And we hate the humans because they hate us. And I'm like,
and we need blood,
Okay, cool, great.
Yeah, dude, fucking war is not a pretty thing, okay, man? You gotta do what you gotta do.
But then the demons and the vampires kept being like, hey, the humans are actually the bad guys. It's not us. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but like, who gives a fuck? Like, when it comes down to humans, they are never going to believe that they aren't the bad people. Or that they are the bad people. And then when it comes to anybody else, of course, you're going to think humans are the bad guys. They're the ones killing everything. And even if humans are bad, I don't fucking care. Like, when it comes down to it, all of these different sides, I don't care about. But we'll find out more in season 2, part 2, cour 2, whatever the fuck they call it.
Yeah, so besides our main character being very, very one-dimensional, essentially being like, his one drive is, I gotta kill vampires. And I won't ever abandon anyone.
Oh, wait, not actually revenge. It's so that I can protect everyone that I love and care about.
Right.
And
but so that's another thing that I was like kind of complaining at. Like when they make these pacts with these demons, these demon weapons or whatever, if they're not strong enough, or if the demon finds some sort of like bad thing in them, they can possess them. So their instructor's like, hey, you can't just want to go in there for revenge. It's fucking not good. You're gonna get possessed. All 3 of the boys that go in there obviously want revenge, and they all make it out with a weapon. And I was just like, they still want revenge. Like, they're just calling it a different name. It's like, it's like, oh, I'm not addicted. This is just something, it's not an addiction. It's something I use to help me, helps me through my day. You mean like an addiction? Like, you're using a different word for the same thing. Anyways, our boy's, his characteristic is, I'm gonna kill vampires, and I'm not gonna ever abandon anyone. Ever. He's like pig-headed. That's what he's all about. He collects like a new set of friends within the first few episodes while he's at school, and they quickly become a team that they keep fucking bringing up that they're a family. Like it's just the motif of family gets just like shoved in your face all the time. And I was like, yeah, I get it. You guys are fucking friends. I wouldn't
call anime, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't call you guys a family. I think you guys are just fucking boys. But if you want to be a family, that's family.
Family.
Yeah, and you know the whole time I'm waiting for the big meetup, right? The main character has to meet his original family member who died, who we know is a vampire, but he doesn't know yet. But we know he's a vampire. And so the whole time waiting, it finally happens around episode, I don't know, like 10, 11 maybe.
Which I appreciated that it wasn't the final episode, but then it kind of felt like they didn't know what to do with it.
It might as well have been the final episode because like they meet up. It feels like they both have these strange reactions of seeing each other. Our main character is very like remorseful about it. He's just like, oh, I abandoned you. I can't believe I left you. But you're also a vampire, so you can't be trusted.
Well, to be fair, it started while they were in the middle of combat, and then Mika, our blonde boy, vampire boy, kills sergeant. Yeah, tries to kill the sergeant, and Yu comes in and is like, yo, I'm fucking not cool with any of this shit. I gotta kill this vampire. And he's screaming, runs up, stabs him, and he's just like about to stab him. Mika's like, you? And Yu stabs him and was like, wait, what the fuck, Mika? And he feels bad, but then he's like, but he's a vampire. So there's this moment of conflict, and that was really the only part that I felt like there was any like real emotion tied to it, to where it would be that way, where you're like, gotta protect my dude. I just called him my family. And then this other guy comes in and is like, holy shit, but he's my original family. What do I do? And then they went away from that point and they were like, I don't know. Hey, humans are bad. And he's like, but you're killing all of my friends that I love who have only done good things.
My new family. Meet my new family, old family.
And then he's like, I don't want to kill you, but I'm going to kill everyone you know. And the other one's like, me too. But then he turns into like an angel demon.
Yeah. Here's the part. Yeah, apparently like it was mentioned. It's mentioned at the very beginning about the prophecy. Okay. And then later on when he makes the pact with his sword demon, who's this girl, she goes like, hey, I'll be your partner or whatever. It's like, also BT dubs. I've noticed that like you're 10% something else. Like, yeah, you're human, but there's something else in there. I don't know what it is, but I thought I'd just let you know. So like this whole time, like they're kind of like prepping us to like, hey, something special is gonna happen. So yeah, he goes berserk, ballistic. He starts like spewing blood out of everything. He makes like one blood wing, black liquid and stuff. And he gets super strong. And he has a moment where he's talking internally with this demon, and he's just like, she's like, yep, it's fucking happening. The thing I told you about.
Oh yeah, and to be very clear, vampires sexy, humans sexy. Demons, sexy. Don't worry about it. We're not doing any cool shit. We're just hot.
Yeah, they're all sexy. Even the ugly ones are sexy. But anyways, the demon chick's just like, yeah, here comes his angels. And so we see angels. It's not explicitly said angels, but like we have eyes. I know what angels look like.
Angels have eyes.
So then he goes berserk and he does like a real like Black Clover or a real like Naruto when he has a nine-tailed fox kind of thing. Like he just goes super ham, starts fucking shit up, doesn't kill anybody. He stops before. Does he get knocked out? How do they get him to knock out? To like,
bro, hugs.
Hugs. All right. So they
we're in junior high school. Hugs.
They eventually make him snap out of it, and then like a bunch of people retreat. The giant conflict that happened gets like dispersed, and then he wakes up in a hospital 5 days later. And one of the girls like confronts the sergeant. It's like, hey, you knew what's going on. You're experimenting on him. What's the deal? And he's just like, mind your own fucking business. And she's just like, all right, but I love him. And the other girl also loves him.
And you're like, sitting there like, what?
What the fuck? Like, why is this happening?
Big boner parties for the new boy. I don't know.
Yeah. And then his vampire friend got taken back by the vampires. Yeah, it just, and that's where it ends. And that's the issue. Like I was telling you, like it's this obviously wasn't meant to end at 12. This isn't like supposed to be some sort of big resolution at the end, because at the end we're kind of back at where we begin. Both parties are separate. There's still teams. Now they just know that the other person exists, but they don't have any plans or any ideas of like what they're gonna do to reconnect or anything. They're still fighting on opposite ends. And that's where it ended. I will say that like there's things I liked about a lot about it. Like visually, there's some really cool moments. So I was like, oh, what a sick attack! What a dope weapon!
It's wit. They know how to make those moments feel grand and feel just special. Even if it's in the middle of a fight, you're like, that thing that just happened, really choice.
Yeah. That being said, they also weren't flawless. Like it wasn't like beautiful from start to end. It wasn't like that, that Violet Evergarden where like you pause it and you can take a picture and that's just an amazing,
like Ancient
snippet.
Magus Bride, something else that Wit Studio did, like fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, this doesn't have. There's some bad drawings. There's some wonky hands at points. There's just like some lazy animations. Like okay, cool, whatever. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. I mean, obviously this didn't get as much love because that sick ass fight scene from fucking 2 episodes ago, happened. So it is what it is. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I don't really care too much about anybody like in particular. Like but I would
go through all the characters and you're just still like, I'm very neutral. Let's see what happens.
I'm pretty indifferent. I would like to see what happens. I would like to see some people die.
You can assume that vampires are the good guys. That's kind of the impression that I'm really getting, is that they are going to be like, vampires is good, but I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't get that impression. I think vampires is not good. I think vampires is bad. I think they just like sleazy about the way they do things. Humans obviously also bad, but I'm a human dude. Team human over here, 100%.
And then we got our angels and demons, and the angels don't exist yet. And the demons, we really only have one demon to connect with. The other ones were kind of focused on for a minute when the characters were doing their pacts. But yeah, not so much. There is one character that I have a special connection with, though, and I want you to
guess.
I think you know who it is, but I'm not 100% sure who.
Well, can I ask for hints? Because none of them actually really stick out to me.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll ask hints. Here we go.
Okay.
Is it on the human side?
Yeah.
Is it a girl?
No.
Oh, it's not a girl.
No.
Is it a boy?
Yeah. Good.
Okay,
good
cool.
call. Good call.
Good call. Is it one of the family members?
No. Well, yes, but no. Which family?
The new family.
New family, yes.
A new family. Okay, new family. Is he handsome? Oh, fucking, we know the answer to that question.
Everyone is, yes. He's cute.
Does he want revenge for some reason?
You're on to something, dude. You're on to something.
I don't know. Pink-haired boy? Do you like
him?
Him?
And the only reason I like him is because he's literally just Tsukushima, but in a different world. So I'm watching Haikyuu over here, rooting on my broody boy. I'm like, You'll get there. You will get there. He's the same voice actor. The second that I heard his voice, I was like, that's Suki. The second I saw him, I was like, no, that's fucking Suki. That's the same dude with the glasses and blonde hair, but instead his hair's pink and he's a little bit shorter.
Was it the, you watched the Japanese version or the dubbed?
Oh, I was going full Japan.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's the same voice actor in English because I watched it in English.
Well, when you see him, he is the same guy. When you hear him, like, the first moment that he came into a scene, we just saw his feet. And I was like, that's Suki.
You instantly knew?
Yeah, I was like, I know that voice fucking anywhere. I love Suki. He's fucking great.
That is true. We just see their feet, and then they get in a fight, and then we just see him later get his ass whooped. Yeah, it is an interesting character. Like, he is tall, glasses, earrings on one side. I was like, what a... I think his weapons are dumb. He's got the dual sword.
He's got dual blades, but he's not... I don't know. They don't show him doing anything cool with them.
No.
But the only reason I care about him is literally just because I like his voice actor and I want him to stick around.
Yeah. I like the chick that has the gauntlets for her weapon.
Yeah, but we hardly even get to see her. I want to see more of her. I want to see what her whole deal is. Look, man, I will never try to pretend that a cool looking weapon can absolutely make me enjoy something. And that is like one of the few things that this show has going for it. I love the look of the bow, even though it's kind of a basic ass bow, but the like, I don't know, something about it really gets me. The way that the arrows are kind of like this fucked up black brown with the tip being green. Something about it I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gradient to it. Yeah, it's very Pit from Kid Icarus. I was like, okay. Cool.
Something about that. The gauntlets are clearly tight. There's a chick that has a giant battle axe weapon. There's a big ass scythe. I just like having a bunch of different weapons and some versatility between how they're used.
And our main character has a lame ass sword.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the classic long sword sitch,
Mm-hmm.
You got to go with the old katana.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's all there really is to say about the show. It was fine. Like there's nothing too great about it. It is. There's better shows that are like this out there that you could watch instead.
Like, let's be real though. Wit Studio has done some incredible stuff.
Yeah,
their animation is just so clean for certain scenes. I'm excited to see what else Wit does in the future. Now that they're not doing Attack on Titan, and they are focusing really hard on Vinland Saga. Now that they've gotten rid of Attack on Titan as one of their shows, I wonder if they're gonna fill it in with anything else that's super exciting that we need to see. I don't know.
Maybe they'll do One Punch Man season 3. Maybe they'll pick it up.
Dude, they're gonna fix One Punch Man. No, it's still on the second season, right? Or is it No, it would be the third season, but they just ended on a bullshit cliffhanger for the second season.
Yeah, they did, absolutely.
Like, it wasn't a cliffhanger. You're in the middle of a fucking plot point, dude.
Settle down. It's not that big of a deal.
All right.
Okay, one last thing I want to mention that I mentioned earlier. There's a bit where like he uses his cursed power or whatever, his demon power, and he gets like skin markings, right?
Yeah, he gets like some kind of tattoo shit starts showing up.
That's just Sasuke from fucking Naruto when he has the cursed shield.
Oh,
or whatever.
100%. This is just stealing a bunch of stuff from other shows.
It's just other things.
Some of the like coolest stuff from other shows, and I'm okay with it. It's a real like you never need to see this show kind of show, but I get it. I understand the point of it. It's just some like cool shit, but not if you care about plot and characters.
Yeah, I mean maybe that turns around season 2, fucking part 2, the last 12 episodes.
Thank you for clarifying, because you better. I'm never gonna talk about this show any other way. I will
season
always
1 or 2. You'll say exactly like
just break it down like the first episode through the 12th episode.
Yeah, dude, that's funny. Okay, yeah, that's it though. Just
I guess that's it.
If you want to watch it, if you're like us that like it does like to watch all that a studio creates or all that a director creates, just because like we're kind of those kinds of people. Yeah, check it out. If not, don't. It doesn't matter.
You shouldn't. Like, let's be real. There's better stuff to watch out there.
Yeah. But that's it. I think I don't know what we're doing next week. Hopefully it's something short. I'm fucking busy as shit.
All right, yeah. Second half of the
12 more episodes. You mean the 12 episodes after?
I'm talking about season 2, the second cour, part 2, Seraph of the End. Point
the actual
5 or whatever, like,
dude, what if we get to episode, is it 24, right? Episode 24, and it's just like to be continued. It's like it ends,
dude. Then we gotta watch all the movies and read the manga. Let's go.
Fucking shit. Okay, we don't know what we're doing next week. We'll figure it out though.
Classic us.
If you like your theme song, check out Tom Master on SoundCloud and YouTube. Trip, where can people find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instagram Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instagram Podcast. If you want to send us a tweet at InstantRamenPod.
Podcast didn't fit.
And you can shoot us an email, InstantRamenPodcast@gmail.com. Every week we stream on Twitch around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, sometimes closer to 9, whatever. So you could go ahead and watch us while we're recording, hang out a little bit for some before and after chill sesh. And that's on twitch.tv/Crispather. Thanks for joining us and listening and watching and all that.
Yeah. This is bye from Juan.
I'll see you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.